What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's me, CMZ News, aka Candace, and I'm here not to give you a recap of yesterday's episode. I do hope to do that tomorrow, but I'm actually here to talk about my predictions, a little bit about the reunion, and my predictions of what I think will happen once the season is finished airing and they have to make some decisions about this super messed up cast situation. So before I do that, I want to say thank you so much. I hit my first goal of 25 subscribers and I just can't even believe it. I have 25 subscribers and I have people who I don't even know in real life who are listening to this channel. So, or me speak rather. And I am just so grateful and I just want to say thank you. I don't know what my next goal would be if I even have one. My whole purpose of doing this is not because I think I'm some sort of creator or something like that, because we real basic up in here. I got my little bare walls and I don't have no makeup on, but this is just a place where I come as a working mom who just really loves some of these Bravo shows and just talks about it. And some of my friends are like, girl, I just watch the show and keep moving, so it's like a place for me to talk to people who like a little bit more in-depth discussion about this. And it's a place where I'm like, you know what, maybe somebody will like what I have to say about it. I do have an Instagram where I share a lot of celebrity updates and things, and I do have people who ask for my opinion about shows or send me things. So I figured, this can be the right platform for that. So maybe one day I'll have an intro, or I'll finally decorate. I swear I have all this stuff to decorate my office. I have paint, we have everything. I just haven't done it. It's been so hot here in California, but I hope to do those things. But again, thank you so much. And I do hope to do the recap for yesterday's episode. Hopefully I can do it tomorrow. I have a busy weekend. I'm heading out to a bachelorette party and I just don't know if I'll have time, you guys. But this reunion is coming and there's been so much that has happened even just this week. So I want to get into it. I have broken this down into sections of who I think is going to maybe stay on, who I think for sure stays, who I think is going to be a friend of, and who the hell I think needs to goddamn be fired, okay? And without further ado, we're going to just get into it. So first of all, this cast has absolutely have to be shaken up and regrouped. The reason for that is I firmly believe the faux four, and probably still brings Teddy's ass along to the fake 5, whatever. They get together and they decide who they're going to target, who they're going to go after, what they're going to say, what they're not going to talk about. If they do talk about each other, they're going to do it very, mildly. They're not going to really call each other out on stuff. They're not going to bring up any of their lawsuits and things they have going on, because it ain't just Erica that's got lawsuits, honey. A lot of them have it. They're not going to talk about any of that. They're going to talk about everybody else. They're going to make sure they promote their stuff, and they're not going to, bring up or call each other out on BS. No, they're going to do real mild, maybe a couple little spats, but they're not going to have any drama. You cannot continue to have it this way. You have a cast where it's the 4 of them versus Crystal, Garcelle, and Sutton. I'm gonna throw Kathy in there, she's new. You cannot have this. It absolutely has to be shaken up, because we cannot continue to have these, Kyle the producer, Rinna the villain, Erica the sidekick, and Dorit the meek, quiet one who's afraid to say anything because she really doesn't think she does. She actually knows her friends are mean, but is too afraid to go against them. We can't continue to have this. So I believe the maybes are Crystal. I think Crystal is a maybe, meaning she might continue or might on her own accord say, hey, you know what, I actually just don't need to do this anymore. I feel like she's been through a lot. She's revealed a lot this year. I think last year she did have moments where she performed really well, meaning her situation with Sutton, when she really called out Sutton and stuff, but when they were at Lake Tahoe. But I just don't think that she's performed that well this year. She's been really quiet. Yeah, she's opened up about her disorder, but I don't think that's enough. So she's going to have to really bring it at the reunion, really be vocal. I feel like Crystal, she does speak her truth and she can hold her ground, but I also think she gets kind of quiet and retreats and doesn't really want to, when people are really in her face, she's like, sorry, like with Erica, like, you know, Erica was so aggressive last night's episode. Crystal was just kind of like, I think like, whoa, bro, like, wow. You've got Cherie, who is a friend of, I don't think she's really performed yet either. I think Cherie has really sat back and has been like, okay, like these girls have some existing issues. I'm gonna sit back, I'm gonna just listen. I think Cherie really could, I wanted her to be more of a backup for Garcelle. I don't think Garcelle's really needed it just yet, but I think that Cherie probably sees things getting kind of crazy and maybe could kind of do like how Phaedra did on Girls Trip and like make them pray or like take them to church or something. I feel like she's that type, but I think she's kind of playing it easy. On social media, you've got Cherie kind of like in like Erica's comments and even like in Diana's stuff and talking to her. So it almost kind of comes off like, like whose side are you on? But I think Cherie's like the person who you either, she likes you until you do something to her. And I'm kind of like that too. Sure, if somebody was treating my best friend the way they've been treating Sutton and the shadiness with Garcelle, we wouldn't be friends. But I'm not an outwardly like mean person. I usually like everybody, to be honest, until they do something. My best friend who will be listening to this, she loves to say that if I don't like you, something is wrong, because I like everybody. Kathy, I think, is a maybe. Kathy doesn't need this. She doesn't need the show. She doesn't need the foolery that Rinna is bringing. Rinna is starting online, honey, already before the reunion. She's posting supposed text messages from Kathy. I think depending on how big the situation in Aspen is with whatever Kathy did, right now I ain't seen nothing. I've seen everybody else show their ass, but depending on that, I think this determines what Kathy does. Kathy doesn't need to be here. I'm not even 100% sure why she is. It's almost kind of like maybe Rick was like, oh yeah, go ahead, you know, like, I don't know. It just seems like, you know, if it was to promote her tequila, we saw a little bit of that. She doesn't need this. Kathy she did great last year, even in her few scenes. She was funny, she was vibrant. I was like, I literally feel like she's so down to freaking earth. Like she could come to my house, probably sit in my office and be like, honey, we gotta get some stuff on this walls. We gotta get this decorated. Like she could probably go to Home Goods with me. I feel like she would just, I feel like she's just really down to earth. But I think it's a maybe. I don't think she needs it. The same with Crystal. She's got her Waters in Costco. She's got Rob. She doesn't need this drama with these girls. I mean, Crystal already had her friend group of 14 girls that she fell out with. She doesn't need to deal with this because this seems very stressful. Crystal looks stressed sometimes. So I think those girls are maybes. Who's staying? No surprise here. Sutton is staying. My Southern Belle Sutton. My Sutton. She's staying. Okay? She is staying because she has delivered. Sutton, first season, you know, she couldn't be on it full because she was going through her divorce and her husband did not want her kids on. She still had minor children. Her children are older, but they were, I think, not even 18 yet. She's got 3. Her baby boy, we've never seen him. He's, I guess, still in high school or something. But her older kids were on the cusp, so we didn't see them. So she was a friend of, because he wouldn't allow her to really film her home life. She's a mom, we couldn't see it. So she was quirky, but I liked her. Her sophomore season, which I believe was last year, I think that was her, either that was her second or third, but I think it was her second. I mean, hands down, Sutton is the one who gathered all the information and really asked the questions that goddamn needed to be asked about Erica and everything. Nobody else was doing that. Sutton did it, and you know, we got to see the beautiful friendship form between her and Garcelle, who I also believe is staying. Sutton has earned her keep this year, especially with the way they have just dragged her. Sutton is going nowhere, okay? Sutton is a fan favorite. Garcelle is going nowhere. Garcelle might as well have the goddamn center diamond. She has, with not even really having so much of a storyline herself. I mean, she has things going on. Having things going on and having a storyline are two different things. Many of them have things going on. They have their products. They have some projects on the side. They have work that we see them do. But a storyline is different. A storyline is what Erica had last year. A storyline is, you know, what we saw last year with the stupid, with Denise and the dog and all that. I mean, excuse me, that was whatchamacallit. With Denise and the affair with Brandy. That's a storyline. So Garcelle, though, has learned the art of producing like Kyle. I say that flippantly because they're not the true producers of the show, but she's learning how to produce. She can be a little shady, but she does it with class. And she has a lot to lose, I think, because, I think this is a really good gig for her and she makes good money from this. It's a solid gig so far, but she's getting money and she's getting so many opportunities, and I think she is using it. And this is probably one of her most, probably, especially to be an older actress, Black actress, she is really, she's using all the opportunities. So Garcelle is here to stay. She's done well. I think she will have to, we'll have to get something from Garcelle. She might have to get a boyfriend. I don't know. Well, she might have to get a boyfriend or something. We're going to need more. It can't just be her being in everybody's business as well. I would like to see a little bit more, but Garcelle is staying. Kyle is going nowhere. She is the OG of the BH. She is Beverly Hills. She's going nowhere. She also doesn't have much of a storyline. Again, she's got things going on, but she doesn't have a storyline. But Kyle's a producer. Again, she's not a real producer of the show, but she is. I desperately want Kyle called on her shit. And it's not hard to do because Kyle gets flustered. Kyle will fight, but she'll get flustered. She'll cry. You know, I hate the way she cries. But Kyle needs to get called on her shit, but she is here to stay as well. I think Andy loves her. It's not that an OG can't be replaced or can't be kicked off, but I do think the premise of Beverly Hills, honestly, I feel like revolved around Kyle. Kyle is a Richard. She's been in Beverly Hills her whole life. She is from here. She's got the Kathy Hilton. She's got deep connections. I mean, Kyle knows everybody. She knew Chris. She knew Nicole Brown. I mean, she knew everyone. Kyle is here to stay for now. I think it would have to be really, really bad for her to go. I see her getting our spinoff before I see Kyle leaving this show. We've got, you guys may not agree with this, but for sure, Erica is staying. I think Erica is not going anywhere, even though she has behaved so ugly. She still won't show us her softer side. I mean, she cries, she gets angry, she's ready to fight. But this woman is so, like, I'm just like, I want to see her, like, what is she like with her child? Like, I want to see that so bad because I'm like, there has to be something soft there. There has to be. We see her repeatedly last night's episode. I don't care about anybody. Why? What victims? What, she's ready to fight, she's ready to fight. But I think they're going to keep her because there's still more to exploit from her Tom fraud storyline. If they could get her on camera the way they got Jen Shaw and them coming to arrest Jen and they were filming, if they could get a moment like that, that would be huge. Erica's not going anywhere as long as she's in this lawsuit. I think she might get one more season. I think they might have a talking to with her, just like before. They told her, I think, with the Tom stuff, you have to talk, you have to open up, you have to share. She shared more than she's been on the show for like 7 years. Like, she shared more than she ever had shared. And a lot of it people don't buy or believe. And when she was crying in the mascara scene, people thought it was fake and all this and that. But, she's going to have to share some. She's going to have to show some empathy. She don't want to, because I agree with Garcelle. Garcelle said, you think it means you're guilty. And I think she does. She's going to fight it to the cows come home that she is innocent. But being humble and, having compassion does not mean you are the one who did these things. But there's more to that. So I don't think Erica is going any friggin' where. Okay. Friend of. Now, I'm going to have Crystal in this category as well. I think Crystal would make an excellent friend of. I think this would be a really good balance for Crystal because she doesn't have to show up to everything. She does not have to, she don't have to be at everything. She doesn't have to deal with the craziness. I don't think Crystal in her real life, yeah, she lost her 14 friends, but I don't think in Crystal's real freaking life, she deals with this type of like backstabbing and drama and like all this, I don't think she does that. I think she's more down to earth. Even the dressing up, she's always kind of just waltzing in casual, her hands in her ugly leather pants, and she's just, I don't think this is her. I think she really is at home with her kids, and she loves having her friends over and entertaining and cooking and being with Rob. And, you know, I don't think that Crystal enjoys a lot of this stuff a lot. She likes to have fun, but she doesn't like the drama. I mean, if you notice, like, she looks like traumatized sometimes when things are happening, and like scared genuinely, and she's just like shaking, you know. So, and I think that might be just from, you know, maybe some pick me energy she's had over the years from her childhood and stuff. But I think she'd make a good friend of. I do like Crystal, even though, you know, her storyline this year was her disorder and everything. I don't know if that's enough. She's going to have to perform at the reunion. She's going to have to step in. She's going to butt in. She's going to have to yell. She's going to have to point out stuff. She cannot back down. She's going to have to do that if she wants to earn another season on the show. Dorit, I think, also would make an excellent friend of. I'm sorry, Dorit had the storyline with the break-in. I'm over it, you guys. You call me a horrible person. I'm done. I'm over it. I like Dorit now. I used to think she was so phony, darling. I used to think she was phony. Her and PK. You know, I don't think her. The thing is that she's Kyle's friend, but you know, Kyle couldn't save Teddy. Kyle loves Teddy, and Kyle couldn't save Teddy. She would have Teddy back in a heartbeat. Teddy is not coming back, okay? Dorit, though, I think she does bring the glamour. But Dorit's not willing to talk about anything that's really going on in her life. Like many of these women, she's not willing to talk about all the lawsuits they have. Dorit went through a huge lawsuit. It was on Twitter. All this stuff was happening. They won't show it. They won't talk about all of PK's bad business dealings. They're not going to talk about it. They haven't even really talked about the fact that people think the robbery was fraud. They haven't talked about all those articles that came out about that. Why are we not talking about that? You know, y'all want to call Erica a fraud every now and then. Dorit, there's things that people think are fraudulent about you. They're not going to talk about it. None of these girls are going to call them out on this. They're not going to call Dorit out on it. I do think that Dorit has been part of the developing of the storylines, but I really feel like Dorit knows that the group that she's partnered with are mean. Because if you watch Dorit when she has like her one-on-ones with Garcelle, she's fun. When I think Dorit would love hanging out with Garcelle and her sons and just, you know, maybe having them over, and I would love to see more of that. But it's gonna be hard because Dorit doesn't want to be targeted. Earlier seasons, Dorit's gotten into it with Erica plenty of times. Dorit's also gotten into it with Rinna plenty of times. She's past that now. She's in a good place. She's fought with Kyle. I don't think she wants to go there. It's better for her to coax, put her head down, pretend like she doesn't see anything. I think we see next week that she's like, well, you don't know all the facts, Crystal. And I feel like, Dorit, you know good and well Erica up here acting a fool and is not being a sensitive person. And I think she's scared. I don't think she wants to be back in those shoes. So I think she can be demoted because she's not going to do the real work. She can be demoted. What do you guys think of my cup? Okay, so fired. Diana's got to go. Diana's got to go. I think she's got to go because although of course, again, she does have some fans. Everyone has some fans, okay? But she's got a lot of haters. I don't think she was well received. I don't think she's performed well on the show. Okay, she's got the money. She's got this weird relationship with Asher. I can't quite figure out what her purpose, why she came on this show. Did she come on this show for Asher's career? Because you know what? This is a woman who name drops. She knows Elton John and she's had Prince's and she's, you know, I mean, this woman is in picture. She literally, I say this all the time, and she's got a picture with her and the Pope. Why are you don't need this show. You shouldn't need this show to introduce Asher to the important music people. So what are you here for? Has she fallen out with some of her famous friends? Is she like, what is she promoting? I don't get it. I think she's had interesting things that she could talk about. I did find her being a refugee and all those things interesting. But you know, now she seems so, as much as she loves and is so proud of being Bosnian, she acts like she's out of touch with things as well, with the amount of money she spends and how glamorous her life is and how she just, you know, she ain't never going to be poor again. She acts very uncouth with it. You know, they say what do they say? Money talks, but wealth whispers. So even though her net worth is more than some of these women, I feel like Sutton, I would think she's the billionaire. Kathy, I mean, come on, Kathy freaking Hilton is over here sleeping in a freaking bunk bed, walking with some house slippers that she looks like she got from damn Rite Aid, you know, wearing a damn shopping bag, literally the $2 bags you get, you know, so that you don't have to buy a plastic one. Like, these people seem more like have more class than Diana has. Money cannot buy you class. Who said that? Whatchamacallit from New York. It's just like, she's uncouth and I don't like her. And then on top of that, some of the offline activities, you know, on top of the nefarious activities she's been alleged to be part of, and then, you know, the Philly diva saying that, oh, it must suck to be a Black content creator, and, you know, being basically called out for being racist and coming for Garcelle, and even then she always wants to list all her philanthropic stuff. Who cares? None of that matters if you really are a bad person. Are you trying to buy your way in heaven or something by donating all this money? Like, no, it's not gonna work, baby. Like, we see through it. You're not who you say you are, and there's clearly something more there. A lot of her life seems very sinister. I'm just gonna say it. So I don't think she's performed. The things I would have liked to hear more about, she shared about her loss. I would love to hear more about her trying to conceive at this age, at 50. That is interesting to me. She talked about it, but you know, she really didn't leave her couch, and maybe that could have been because of her medical. She left where she had to, but I didn't see it, you guys. I don't think that I don't like it. I know the girls like her, Rena like her, Erica like her. She's rich, honey. They like that. They think she's amazing. Okay, you know, the two thirstiest people who want to latch onto the wealthiest person, yeah, they like her, but I don't think it's enough. I think she's out of there. I think Lisa Rinna needs to be fired. Okay, so I would love nothing more than Rinna really to have a takedown season. What I mean by that is we talk about the husbands. We talk about her messy ass house. We talk about her old ass house. We talk about all the loans and the mortgages on her house. We talk about her messy garage. We talk about her marriage. We talk about what did Harry do. We talk about all those things. We talk about why she lost her QVC stuff. We talk about what is really going on in her life, her lawsuits, her daughters. We talk about, well, maybe not her daughters, we leave the kids out of it, but we talk about what's really going on, and we call her out on her shit. We call her out on her stuff, her beyond pot stirring with her hypocrisy. We call her out on how she has nothing going on if her name isn't in, if she don't have somebody else's name in her mouth, how she's not as tough as she thinks she is, and we break her ass down. I would love that. But you know what? She is so used to playing this character. This is a character for her. This is a soap opera role for her, because I actually do know who Lisa fucking Rinna was before this, because I actually grew up watching soaps. I literally watched soaps as a kid. I watched Days of Our Lives. I watched General Hospital. I don't watch them anymore, but I literally still to this day, like, I follow certain soap characters because I like grew up watching them. Okay, so like I know who she was. I know Billy Breed. I know her and Bo were together. Like, I know it. He ain't choose her chose hope, but I know who she was. I really didn't know who Lisa Rinna was before this show. And in the soap world, she was very popular, okay? I think she is not hireable anymore. She is losing things because of her behavior offline, with the way she's acted online, on Twitter, on Instagram, the way particularly this season, she's nasty. She is mean. She is cruel. She is relentless Rinna, and it isn't funny. It isn't cute. She thinks she can just dance her way, and, you know, we're done with it. She lost her opportunity to make one of these Peacock movies. They're allegedly giving it to Garcelle. I think she is now known more for being on this show than she is for acting, for anything else that she's done. I really feel like she's created this character. I think she needs this show. All these other women, they have a net worth that's higher than her. And it's not all about money, but I think for Rinna it is. And, you know, her and Garcelle, you know, they're both actresses, okay? But you know what? I think Garcelle is booked and busy. Garcelle, sure, The Real is not on anymore, but Garcelle has her line with QVC. She's got her booked. She's got things going on for her. People like her. She's been going with Andy as the face of Bravo. They don't want to see Rinna. Rinna and her antics and the way she's behaved this year, and even freaking today, she's posted receipts ahead of the reunion saying, sorry guys, I'm still dealing with my cold a little bit. I'm still dealing with that. She's posting receipts from a conversation with Kathy Hilton saying that, you know, it's Kathy basically saying, hey, let's not talk about like some of the things I said. Why do you have to bring it up, Rinna? Because you just gotta own it so much. You just gotta stick it to somebody. This is a woman who thinks she's so untouchable. She's going after Kathy V. Hilton, perhaps for Kyle, because Kyle can't go a few years with getting along with her sisters and crying about it because she's, you know, but I'm starting to see why her and her sisters stop talking every few years. Rinna is going after Kathy freaking Hilton, who is from a very long money family. One of her daughters is married to a Rothschild. This woman is insane going after her. Her daughters are still trying to make it in this industry. You don't think they can't put out some phone calls and halt all of that? Look what she did with Yolanda. And notice the Hadid girls are not modeling as much anymore, it doesn't seem. So now Rinna's daughters are starting to get more couture, high fashion stuff. You're messing with everybody. You're about to mess it up for everybody, Rinna. So the way you humble Rinna, you fire her. You put her on pause. You let her know that she's replaceable. And you know what? If they could replace Nene, if they could pull Nene, if they could fire Ramona, if they could fire the OG from the OC, Vicky, and they move Tamara off for a little bit, put them on pause, it can happen to her. It needs to happen to her. She needs to be paused. She needs to be leveled. She needs to be humbled. She needs to learn. And I hope it happens. We have the reunion, you guys. And I'm hoping to not just have it be a ton of fighting. I am hoping that we see some really like acknowledgement for their behaviors, because the behavior has been appalling this year. You see a little bit of backpedaling. You have Diana, and I don't think this will save her, but you have Diana posting that she donated $100,000 to the victims from the Lion Air crash, basically saying, put your money where your mouth is. You're so concerned about, you know, these victims. Okay, we'll give some money. Well, you know what, Diana, that was very charitable of you. Once again, Diana showing how charitable she is, right? What's your real intention? Because if you're going to do that and then you're going to make statements like that, what's your real intention? Erica liked it. Eric was happy for it. I don't think it's Diana's responsibility to do that, but you know what? I'm sure the surviving victims' families are grateful for that, and however that'll be split and however much they'll get. You also have Diana posting today that she's hired a lawyer to investigate who is the one who put the cyber attacks against Garcelle's son. Very honorable, very noble. That's great, Diana. But you know what? Did you involve Garcelle in that? Did you talk to Garcelle and say, hey, you know what? I've got the resources. Let me do this for you. I had nothing to do with this, Garcelle. We don't like each other or whatever. We got off to a bad feet, but this is so deplorable. I want my high class, my top lawyers to look into who did this, and we're going to get to the bottom of it. No, Garcelle's not included in that. She didn't tag her. She mentioned her, but she didn't tag her in any of that. What is this for? Is it to clear your name? Because you know what? Clearing your name is it means something to clear your name, okay? Especially in this media where they like to run with things. Clear your name. But what is your intention? I don't think that's going to save her. But I do want to see these women who have misbehaved. I want to see them acknowledge that they have bullied Sutton all year. I want them to acknowledge that that the reaction from the fans we don't like it. Stop acting like you're not affected by the comments and the things that we're saying. And I don't mean the people who are just nasty, but there are people who actually make good points about their behavior and the hypocrisy. Acknowledge that. Now, I'm not going to say that the other side, Sutton and Garcelle, or maybe even Crystal, are just so innocent. I do think Garcelle was kind of out there a little bit with Erica name in her mouth and all that. But I want to see some genuine apologies. And I don't know, because if they don't do the shakeup and they don't do these things, then it's literally like them versus us. What is this, Bad Girls Club? We can't have it go like this. So I am excited to see what happens, guys. And again, I just appreciate you watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe if you're new here just viewing. Really would appreciate it. I don't know what's next or what my next goal is. I don't know, maybe leave it down below what my next goal would be. I don't even know how to get more subscribers, but we will figure that out. And also, I gotta say, RIP to the Queen of England, one of the longest ruling monarch of England. And we've got, you know, I just gotta give that shout out there. So of course, you know, I follow the royals and stuff too, because I follow a little bit of everything. So we are, she lived a very long life, very, you know, she's been the queen from my life, my parents' life. So a lot of stuff going on in this world, but that is, you know, they're 96 years and Godspeed. So like, comment, subscribe once again. And until next time, hopefully I will be able to do another recap for yesterday's episode. But I think if I do, I'm going to just get to certain points, because I don't even have time to go scene by scene. I just want to get straight to that last scene. Okay. But thank you. Have a good night.